It all started when Jeremy Rowe came and gave us a talk once, and he mentioned that Francis Hartwell that had been buried here at Greenwood with no marker, and thought there should be something we could do to make a marker. He was an early photographer, early 1800s. He started out in Tucson, and then he came to Phoenix.
He was such a key piece of early Phoenix history. Not only was he a resident, a businessman, but he documented early Phoenix history in the 1890s when things were just, pretty new in Phoenix and getting started. There's no question he was the preeminent photographer of that time. My personal favorites are the ones he did of the Phoenix street scenes. It gives you a good idea of, Phoenix City Hall or some of the early Phoenix buildings and the parades and just people out on the streets, that sort of thing.
He was a great photographer. I mean, he did a lot of landscapes. There's one photograph he did that is, and I'm not sure of what it was called at the time, but there's about 8 or 10 students, and it was what eventually became the ASU.
Being that I'm a photographer and really into Phoenix history, I had heard that Hartwell was interred here, and I went out there to look, and I couldn't find him, and turns out that he had never had a headstone. He was, died in 1908, so I was kind of dismayed about that.
As I understand it, when he was done with his photography, he kind of died broke. And with no family, he was buried here with no headstone. But what I wanted to do was make it like a community project. So I thought about, why don't we do an auction? And we had something like 14 artists that donated 20 prints. The whole purpose of the auction was so that members of the Arizona Photography Alliance could feel like they participated in the purchase and the laying of this headstone.
It's just great that we have this marker for him, even though we knew about him, to know that this was his final resting place, and now he has a marker to memorialize him. I think that's just, if somebody ever wanted to come out and just see it, at least there's a place now that, he's not completely forgotten.